A.B.C.Dior. A.B.C.Dior invites you to explore the letter P, which stands for Paris. Set off on an enlightening odyssey to discover the places that marked the founding couturier's life, as well as the house's history, and which have been ceaselessly celebrated ever since. In Paris, one inhales fashion with every breath, Christian Dior wrote in his memoirs. At the age of 5, he left the verdant setting of his family's seaside villa Les Rambes, perched on a Granville clifftop, for Paris. I thank heaven I lived in Paris in the last years of the Belle Époque. They marked me for life. An habitué of Le Boeuf sur le Toit, Christian Dior frequented the bohemian Paris milieu, in the process forging his taste for culture of all kinds. The contacts he made would lead to him years later opening his first gallery on Rue La Boétie with his friend Jacques Bonjon, then a second on Rue Cambacérès with Pierre Colle. For Monsieur Dior, Paris was omnipresent at each stage in his life, from the Rond-Point des Champs-Élysées, where he worked as an in-house designer for Robert Piguet, to 16 Avenue Matignon, where he joined the couture house of Lucien Lelong. But it was in 1946 that the capital really guided his destiny, when on Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré, he came across a metal star on the ground, a celestial sign that convinced him to open a couture house under his own name. This talisman guided him to Avenue Montaigne, where, years before this stroke of luck, he had already identified his ideal location. In his debut haute couture collection for spring-summer 1947, he named a black wool dress Maxime's, in honor of the restaurant where he liked to dine, a houndstooth ensemble Montmartre, and another in mottled grey, Parc Monceau. He went on to pursue the tribute with a veritable itinerary of his favorite places and famous monuments in the city. Tuileries, Palais Royal, Plaza Athénée, Ritz, and Tour Eiffel were just some of the evocative names to feature in his collections. Remaining faithful to the founding couturier's legacy, the creative directors who followed were equally inspired by the City of Light, starting with Yves Saint Laurent, who gave his creations names including Maxime's, Ciel de Paris, Élysée, and Tout Paris. For his autumn-winter 1962-1963 haute couture collection, Marc Bohan incorporated the city into combination capital names such as Paris-Amsterdam, Paris-Bruxelles, Paris-Copenhague, and Paris-New York. From Gianfranco Ferré to John Galliano and Raf Simons, Monsieur Dior's various successors in turn celebrated the house's Paris roots in fashion shows held in prestigious locations, such as the Grand Palais and the gardens of the Musée Rodin. For the winter 2022-2023 men's show, the stunning scenography recreated the Pont Alexandre III, engendering a fascinating dialogue between Christian Dior and Kim Jones, with the city as the backdrop to captivating creation. This Paris-specific artistic effervescence would also influence Maria Grazia Chiuri for her fall 2019 collection, which additionally saw the introduction of 30 Montaigne, a timeless and iconic line acknowledging the Paris address that remains the house's beating heart. Today, this bond resonates more strongly than ever through another map of Paris that appears in the Spring-Summer 2023 collection. A magnificently shaded black and white map, revisiting a silk scarf printed for Dior between 1950 and 1955, reinterprets the historical Plan de Turgot, which depicts the monuments of Paris. This urban geography re-establishes itself for autumn-winter 2023-2024 ready-to-wear, in which Maria Grazia Chiuri once again celebrates the history of Dior and French style, through the prism of three extraordinary women, Catherine Dior, Edith Piaf, and Juliette Gréco. This inspiration also appears at Dior Maison, where the graphic cartography graces a series of irresistible objects, from embroidered cushions and table mats to delicately scented candles. This fascinating tale, exploring the links and locations that connect Dior to the capital, continues to be written today through the collections by the house's various creative directors.